Bunch of former legislators got together, mostly Republican. Saxby Chambliss of Georgia, he's a former senator, Norm Coleman, another former senator from Minnesota, but also some Democrats, including the despicable Evan Bayh from Indiana. Remember how the entire press gave Evan Bayh a teary goodbye? Oh my God, he's such a centrist, he's such a moderate, we love Evan Bayh. Well, he's gotten together with some of the most loathsome Republicans in the world to put together an ad that is one of the worst fear-mongering, war-mongering ads I have ever seen. It's about our negotiations with Iran. The whole point of the negotiations with Iran is that they don't get nukes, and we verify absolutely positively that they will not have nukes. This ad, of course, lies and says the exact opposite, that if we have a peace deal with them and we can verify that they don't have nukes, in fact, they will get nukes. It's an absolute positive lie. It is put together by the American Security Initiative that I can guarantee you is funded by defense contractors who actually do want a war so they can get richer. And they're not interested in our security. In fact, they want the exact opposite. The less secure we feel, the more we pour into defense contractors. Evan Bayh worked for those guys. Of course, so did Saxby Chambliss and Norm Coleman. They were their top bitches when they were in the Senate. They were whores for these guys when they were in the Senate. They're whores for them now that they're out of the Senate. So prove me wrong, prove me wrong. Show me the good-hearted, charitable folks happen to get American Security Initiative off the ground with a ton of money, having nothing to do with defense contractors. No, 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 not at all. We're wild exaggerators, right? Show me the donors from American Security Initiative. Show them to me, and I'll apologize to you. I'll get Evan Bayh on here. I'll apologize to him personally. No, no, no. These are paid whores, okay? And they run ads like this. Watch this.
Coming up next up.
And Senator Lindsey Graham responded.
We got a North Korea in the making. One day you're going to wake up with an Iranian nuclear weapon.
Later, Benjamin Netanyahu commented on a nuclear Iran.
Just imagine the horrific results if the Islamic extremists who rule Iran get their hands on nuclear weapons.
Tell Washington no Iran nuclear deal without congressional approval before it's too late.
All right, let's break down all the nonsense in that ad. You hear Lindsey Graham on the radio, their senator from South Carolina, saying, we got a North Korea in the making. One day you're going to wake up with an Iranian nuclear weapon. Oh, we can remind me who was president while North Korea got their nuclear weapon. The guy who started a war in Iraq when it turns out they had no weapons. No weapons of mass destruction at all. Meanwhile, North Korea built a weapon of mass destruction right under his nose. Oh, right, George W. Bush. The guy who was the king foreign policy decision-making there, Dick Cheney, neoconservative Dick Cheney. Hey, what happened? No, no, no. That was George Bush's fault. That was a Republican administration that did that. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two, as I pointed out just a second ago, the whole point of the negotiations is to make sure they do not get a nuclear weapon, and it would be verified. And if they violated that, well, then the deal is off. And we can go back to doing whatever we want to do, which includes the option of bombing them. We don't want to go there as the first option unless you're a Republican and you love bombs and you get rich off of bombs, you get rich off of wars, you get rich off of sending other people's kids to die. Then you do want it as a first option. That's why you're trying to push us into war with this fear-monger. Oh my God, a bomb is going to go off. A nuclear bomb is going to go off. Point number three, the voice you heard toward the end of the ad talking about how horrific the results could be, yada, yada, that's Benjamin Netanyahu. Remind me, is he from Nebraska? Is he from Hawaii? Is he from Connecticut? Is he from Alaska? Well, which state is Netanyahu from? Oh, right. He's not from our country. He's the prime minister of Israel. Okay, so these are people saying, okay, we shouldn't listen to our leader. We should listen to somebody else's leader, right? And if we don't listen to the dear leader, Netanyahu, we're going to have a nuke go off in this country. The ad itself, even before they started running it, cost $500,000 to make. I'm glad at least somebody robbed these guys, okay? But this is the kind of money they have. Jon Stewart's right. When he was stepping down, he said, look, part of the reason he's leaving The Daily Show is he's exhausted from fighting these guys. Day in, day out, lie after lie. And they've got so much money to spread their propaganda, their hatred, their fear, so for their own purposes so that they can get rich. And their incentive to get rich never ends. And we got to keep fighting him day after day. It is exhausting. Well, luckily, in this case, most of the major news networks actually did the right thing. They said this ad is so despicable that even they wouldn't run it, even for a large sums of money. Imagine, okay? Of course, there was one news network that did run it. You want to take a guess, a wild stab at it? Of course, Fox News Network loves this fear-mongering. That's what they do on a daily basis on their shows anyway, for free. So, of course, they ran the ad as well. If you think that Iran is going to nuke us, if we do a peace treaty with them, they are playing you for a fool. Iran does not have a nuclear weapon now. According to Mossad, if you only trust Israeli leaders, let me quote Mossad for you, okay? That's their intelligence gathering operation. They say Iran is nowhere near a nuclear weapon. Nowhere near it. They do not have one. They're not near one. In fact, Mossad says they're not even working on one. The CIA says the same thing. But we have warmongers like Evan Bayh, Norm Coleman, Saxby Chambliss, and the people who funded them. They're just a front that they put up. Look at these senators we bought. Go ahead, puppets, play for us, right? Play us a pretty song. The real people behind this are the defense contractors who are going to make the money.